Yes, people, myself, TS. Welcome back to another NoFilterTS. In this one, just talking about Arsenal and how the squad can be strengthened in the summer for next season. Now, next season, obviously, we'll have the Europa League, which, we had no Europe last season. We'll have, obviously, the Premier League and then the two domestic cups, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. And, in the ideal world, I think a lot of fans, even myself, kind of feel like, when is it going to be our time we're going to challenge for the Premier League again? Unless we also do some super madness in the summer, I personally don't see it. And, I think for next season, we got to look at, securing, this is just my own goal. Some people might say, oh, it's crazy. But for me personally, I think that we need to, do whatever we can to try secure a top four finish. I know some people say, oh, fourth place is third loser, and I fully understand that. But I think what would be progress for us for next season is a top four finish, and we need to win a trophy as well, whether that's a FA Cup, Carabao Cup, or Europa League. Even if we was to get two of those, would be good. In the ideal world, it'd be like, okay, we've got top four and secured all three. That'd be top quality. But I think for me, a secure top four finish and a trophy. I think either FA Cup or Europa League, but we'll take a Carabao Cup as well. You can't be picky. Man City, Liverpool, them City teams seem happy to win these sort of trophies. So, we can't turn up our face to them and say, oh, no, we don't want this. But, yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of positions across the squad that need to be improved. Not so much improved, but just adequate backup in. So, first position I'm going to talk about is left back. Obviously, we're linked with is Aaron Hickey from Bologna. Apparently it'll be a deal worth around 21.25 or 21.5 million. And, another young Scottish left-back, it'd probably be good for Tierney, another Scotsman as backup. And I think that would be the right move, to be honest with you. Tavares, the beginning of last season when he came in, he looked okay. Made a mistake against Liverpool, and then it's kind of all been downhill from him since then. We played in the FA Cup, he got subbed off after like 25 minutes, and he ain't been the same since. And, when push come to shove regarding Tierney, at first Arteta decided to go and play Xhaka at left back. So that kind of shows you that this guy, that Arteta doesn't rate him at all. So, whether we're able to sell him this summer, I don't know, or loan him. But, I think for me, getting in this guy as backup would be a good move, and it would strengthen us in that position for in the event of if and when Tierney gets injured, because unfortunately it just seems like we're not going to ever be able to get a full season out of him. The next position I would strengthen, again, adequate backup would be at right back. Obviously Tomiyasu, he was out for ages with this calf injury. I think he injured one calf and another calf. I'm not too sure if he signed up for the auto glass insurance as well. But, Cedric came in, did a decent job. But it's thought that Cedric might even move on in the summer. And, even with Tomiyasu, he got bun up by St. Maximin when we played at Newcastle. And a man I would go for backup for this position would actually be someone like a Max Aarons. Again, he just got relegated with Norwich, but he's got experience, playing, kind of yo-yo clubs. He's got experience playing the Premier League Championship. But, I think he's a good young right back. And I think he's quite pacey as well, which will kind of, help us in terms of, having a full-back which, can overlap the winger on that right-hand side. Majority of the time that is, Bukayo. But, yeah, I think he would be an adequate backup at right back for Tomiyasu. And then going into midfield, obviously this is a position where we're linked with a lot of players. We're linked with Tielemans, Aouar, that Fabian Ruiz. So, again, all of those sort of players, for me personally, even if we get two of them, would be ideal. For me, it'd be, you go out there and get Aouar and Fabian Ruiz. Aouar's only valued at like 12 million, Fabian Ruiz at 25 million. So, you're looking at maybe spending 37 million on midfielders. Obviously, Tielemans is apparently 25 mil as well. So, in my opinion, if a man like Xhaka is to go this summer, then, for me, you'd go out there and get all three. But I don't know what the plan is with Xhaka. In my opinion, I'd probably move him on. Although he probably had a better season this season. But, you know, put it this way. If Xhaka stays, I'll go out there and get Fabian Ruiz and Aouar. If Xhaka's to go, I'll go out there and get Fabian Ruiz, Aouar and Tielemans. Just my personal opinion. And then to the wings, you know, the talk about Gnabry, I did it in my last video, you know, 40 million. Like I said, just go and sound him out. This doesn't need to be the whole paper talk over the whole summer. Just go and sound it out. Does he want to come? Yes or no? If he does, great. Go and put the money down. If not, then, you know, I think the guys like Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, they kind of are the starting wingers. I personally can't see the club signing players to start ahead of them. But if you want adequate backup, then, you know, you probably have to look at a man like Cornet from Burnley, who just got relegated, Ismail Assar from Watford, again, who just got relegated. And, you know, you look towards the back end of the season when we had the likes of like Salah Dean, Amari Hutchinson, those sort of men on the bench, Marcelo Flores, and them man didn't get not 1 minute. So it shows that as much as they're good young prospects, that Mikel didn't have the faith to start to put any of them on that pitch. So, you know, for me, I think the guys I've just mentioned, you know, people will say, oh, but they're not on the level of Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli. But, you know, I think they definitely do provide attacking threat, and they provide adequate backup to the team, and also allows for the team to rotate a bit. Obviously, a lot of this depends on what happens with a man like Reese Nelson. Obviously, I expect Pepe to leave this summer anyways. But obviously, Reese Nelson, 1 year left in his deal. Is he gonna stay? In the sense, is he gonna stay and play, or is he gonna, you know, move on? Who knows? But, you know, that's something that will obviously have to be factored into the decision making. But, you know, I think those sort of players, you know, would provide adequate squad depth to those positions. And then the main one is striker. Obviously, not yet announced, but the talk is that, you know, Eddie's staying 100k a week. Already done a video on that. And, you know, Jesus seems to be the main target. But, you know, I obviously, for most fans who say that we need two strikers, you know, okay, Jesus, you know, Osimhen's been talked about. You know, you got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who, I don't know, seems to be at the moment more into fashion. You've got guys like Darwin Núñez, Jonathan David, there's another guy, Patrick Schick, who, you know, these are guys that are probably gettable. But again, it's all about going out there, speaking with these people's representatives and getting business done early. I know with Jesus, his agent said that business will be done after the Brazil national team's games. But yeah, a lot of this is just, you know, speak to a player's agent, you know, see what sort of deal, see if they're interested, and then, you know, go to the club about sorting out the money and that. But yeah, like I said, I think strengthening all those positions is what's going to be required for us to have a better season next season. You know, I think centre half we're quite stacked. You know, obviously Saliba coming back. That's of course if he stays. I will do a separate video on that as well, on his whole situation, as I believe Marseille now have been cleared to actually sign players. So yeah, I think centre half's fine. Goalkeeper, obviously Leno probably will go. Well, you know, we just brought in that Matt Turner, who I expect to be, you know, the backup to Ramsdale. And yeah, I think, you know, left back, right back, centre mid, wing, striker. I think, you know, if we can get in a player in each of those positions, we should be fine going into next season. And people will be like, oh, that's a lot of signings. But when you think about it, no, you know, like obviously Lacazette's going to leave. Although I didn't mention goalkeeper, obviously Leno's going to leave. You know, a man like Cedric might leave. Holding potentially may leave. Tavares may leave, loan, however you want to call it. Pepe more than likely going to leave. And then a man like Reese Nelson might also leave as well. So there's a lot of players that will be leaving the club this summer. So, you know, there is a lot of players that need to come in. And again, because there's a lot of players that need to come in, this is why it needs to be done as early as possible. So, you know, the squad can gel over pre-season to be ready to go come game week 1. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that all. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button now. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.